Hello, Kapil. Thanks for having me on, and thanks for hosting. My first, I guess my comment starts out as more of a statement. I read Atmuman, and also I've listened to quite a few hours of your conversations and read quite a bit that you read, or written rather. And after having done a bunch of this, I ran into some friends for the first time in a while, and they thought something was wrong with me and were actually calling me after running into me and asking me to make sure everything was okay. And it just kind of got me thinking along the lines of, well, can we really be on the path of truth and get along with people from our former lives?
It isn't a question of getting along. It isn't a question of getting along. It's where one's allegiance is. If one's allegiance is more in the direction of making socializations, and that is where one's interest lies, then truth will tend to be a very difficult thing for that individual, because it tends to be completely at odds with an individual who seeks socialization and friend circles and all of these things. Of course, it does not mean that an individual cannot have friends and cannot have acquaintances and cannot have conversations. Of course, it doesn't mean that. However, having said that, I don't need to tell you, as you've already experienced firsthand, if you discuss truth with other people, you generally will be met with awkward glances and people calling you afterwards to ask you if everything's all right. So the more that you have read, the more awkward you are going to seem to others if you espouse or carry on your sleeve those sentiments. So stating it purely, truth is a solitary pursuit, because there aren't many people in the world who are genuinely seeking truth. Therefore, by definition, all of your so-called friends are going to be individuals who aren't interested in truth. Therefore, you will always be the black sheep and the odd man out.
It's odd, because in these situations that I'm referring to, I actually felt quite well, and if anything, maybe in a better state than I had prior after quitting.
Well, that's why I always say it's about you.
Right.
It's if you try to democratize it. I think one of the greatest things that are one of the most fundamental misunderstandings is that there can be group anything, and there's not. If you have a group anything, it's a group disaster. It is not serious. It is insincere. Group meditation, group, a talk to a group about wisdom or whatever it is. Everything's on the level of the individual. Nothing is a group. So nothing can be from that realm.
The most personally interesting aspect to this is that, as a young child, I felt kind of very apart and very different. And that's a feeling that was lost through socialization over time.
And that tends to be the case.
It's sort of reminding me of that now.
That tends to be the case. It tends to be that those who are on a genuine path to truth with varying degrees of sincerity tend to be individuals who did not fit into the norms of society. They tend to be fringe individuals, fringe in the sense of, not socialization tends not to be the thing that moves them the most.
Thank you for your time and your work. Namaste.
Sure thing.